Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. It has been a minute since I've done a fragrance buying guide. The last one that I did was about 4 months ago, I feel like, maybe longer. So today we're doing another fragrance buying guide, and hopefully I'll have another one not too long from now. Fragrance line that we're taking a look at today is one of the biggest on the market as far as designers go. It is Bleu de Chanel. Course by Chanel. We're going to be going over the eau de toilette, the eau de parfum, and the parfum version of the fragrance. I'll let you know which version of the fragrance is better for who. We'll go over the price points, where you can pick these up, what times would be best to use them, how they stack up against the competition a little bit. A lot to talk about. Only 3 fragrances, but it'll probably still take a while, so let's jump into it. And friends, as always, I will have these Bleu de Chanel fragrances linked in the description in case you want to check them out. If I can find them at discounters, I'll put them there, but we'll get into that. Oh, and if you shop at twistedlily.com or maxaroma.com, you won't find Bleu de Chanel there, but if you do shop on those websites, use the code GENTS10 for 10% off. And if you should ever find yourself in a fragrance outlet store or perfume mania store, check out my fragrances there. Blue Ridge, Terra Nova, and Jet Black Enigma. They smell fantastic. Great versatility and complement factor with all 3. And if you want to pick them up from Michael Malloy's website, which is where these are sold online, of course, then you can use the code GENTS10 for 20% off your order, and that is linked down below as well. Bleu de Chanel. Just a monster line of fragrances, some of the best selling fragrances in the entire United States right now. And I always say this, but Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette, when it was released back in 2010, really helped kick off this blue fragrance wave that we've been riding ever since. Now, there were fragrances that came out before Bleu de Chanel that had a similar idea as far as trying to give you a very appealing opening with extreme mass appeal and versatility. Basically, a fragrance you could use for everything. Like, if you only had one fragrance, this one could do it all. There were fragrances before Bleu de Chanel that did that, but this one really helped kick off the blue fragrance movement, if you want to call it that, which now we see with releases like YSL Y, that entire line, Dior Sauvage, that entire line, Dolce & Gabbana's K, and so many more. So first, let's talk about the eau de toilette a little bit, then we'll move on to the eau de parfum, the parfum, and then who these would work for. So first off, retail pricing for Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette. This is in the United States as of when I'm filming this video. This is a 50 ml size. The price for this, $96. And that is the cheapest Bleu de Chanel that you can get of the ones we're talking about here today. I'm not covering the all over spray. That does exist now, and it is a little bit cheaper than this, but we're tackling just the 3 main releases in the line. The all over spray is more like Dior's Sauvage Very Cool spray. You can use it as a fragrance 100%, but it's not what people think of when they say Bleu de Chanel. For a 100 ml size bottle of the EDT, it's $120, so not that much more than the 50 ml really. You get double the amount for $24 more. And then you can get a 150 ml size fragrance bottle, and that will run you $156 for the EDT. So it's not cheap. Of course, Chanel fragrances in general are a little bit higher end than your typical designer, and that's reflected in the price. Now, maybe you would think, well, I'll just pick it up from a fragrance discounter online. I'll save a little money. Yeah, about that. So Chanel, they're very particular about their fragrances, and they have a very tight hold on their distribution. And they have in the past threatened to sue different discounters that had Chanel fragrances listed for under MSRP. So when it comes to Chanel, more so than really any other designer house out there, they are difficult to find at discounters for anything less than MSRP. And if you do find it for under MSRP at a discounter, it's not going to be by much. You're never going to find Bleu de Chanel at a discounter, a legitimate bottle, for like $40. Okay, so Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette. This one, an extremely appealing opening. I think it smells fantastic. 99% of people out there think the same. This is gonna be the freshest one of the bunch. It's also a little bit more youthful than the other fragrances, but it's not youthful in the way that it comes across like bubblegummy or something like that. This still has great classiness to it, very good versatility. I mean, you can wear it whenever you want. The opening is fresh, as I said, zesty, citrusy. You're gonna get lemon in here along with grapefruit off the top. Then you also have ginger, nutmeg, and jasmine as the fragrance dries down. The ginger in the opening actually combines with the citrus to really help this one set itself off, to really, as I said before, grab attention. And as I was talking about before, this really helped set that in stone, that you needed that opening that was going to get people's attention when they go to the store and just spray it on their skin once, go in for that first smell, it would just right away capture attention and make those sales happen. It has a woody dry down, so you're gonna get vetiver, cedar, and sandalwood in there, a bit of incense, so you get this light smokiness that comes through the fragrance, and that's gonna help give this more versatility. It's not just a springtime fragrance or just a summertime fragrance. It's a year-round fragrance. So this one, even though it came out over a decade ago, still very modern, masculine, extremely easy to wear. Let's move on to the Eau de Parfum, which I have right here. And the price is going to go up. As I said before, $96 was the Eau de Toilette for 50 ml, $112 for 50 ml of the Eau de Parfum. Then a 100 ml size is $145 for the EDP. And if for some reason that's not big enough and you want a 150 ml size bottle, that'll run you $184. So the Eau de Parfum here, this one is generally viewed by most people as the one to get if you're only gonna get one fragrance. It's kind of the Goldilocks of the bunch. So it's a little bit more refined, a little bit richer than the Eau de Toilette, still has that freshness, but not quite as fresh as the EDT. It's a little more complex, a little more refined, a little more sophisticated than the EDT. So what that means is this one is going to help with that versatility a little bit more. Whereas with the Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette version, you may not think of that as much of a wintertime fragrance. Yes, you can use it during the winter, as I said before, but you would maybe lean toward other things. This one with that added depth makes it a better choice for winter and fall than the Eau de Toilette, but the Eau de Parfum also works extremely well during the spring and summer. It's also a better evening scent than the Eau de Toilette is. The Eau de Toilette does lean a little more toward being a daytime scent overall, whereas this one, you can wear it during the day, the evening, either one. So the opening here, citrusy, once again, it's gonna have that in common with the Eau de Toilette. It has a little bit of mint in there, helping add that freshness off the top. You've got the ginger in here, just like the Eau de Toilette, again, with that opening really helping it sing. You have jasmine, nutmeg, you've got the woods in here, the incense in here, just like the Eau de Toilette. You have a little more amber going on in the Eau de Parfum, again, helping it stand out more in cold weather. So a little bit richer, a little bit more elegant, and with, I think, a little more versatility than the Eau de Toilette. That's what you're gonna get with the Eau de Parfum, but it is going to cost you, as I said before, a little bit more, but not the most expensive one. No, that's gonna be this one, the Parfum. So Bleu de Chanel Parfum, and this one gets a slightly different presentation as compared to the other ones because they change the font to this kind of like light gold coloration, and then the Chanel logo on top of the cap instead of white has that same color. And then as well, the atomizer on the Parfum is black as compared to the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum, which has a silver color. So the Parfum, the most pricey one, as I said, a 50 ml size bottle, which is what I have right here, $144. Ouch, ouch. The 100 ml is $178, and the 150 ml, $220. Now, as I said, the Eau de Parfum, kind of a more refined, deeper, richer version of the Eau de Toilette. The Parfum is slightly different than the other two. You can absolutely tell it's a Bleu de Chanel. Don't get it twisted. This is a Bleu de Chanel, and you can tell. It's not drastically removed from the other two, but it does stand out a bit. Of the three, this is going to be the most grown up. This is going to be the most elegant. This is going to be the most refined, the most mature. It still absolutely has a huge compliment factor. All three of these do. The entire Bleu de Chanel line are fragrances that will just absolutely crush it at getting positive attention if that's what you're after. So once again, citrusy and fresh in the opening. Not as fresh as the EDT, not as much as the Eau de Parfum, but it does have this very nice kind of zinginess from lemon zest in the Parfum, which you're not gonna really get as much in the other two. Again, not to keep harping on it, but it's almost like you took that Bleu de Chanel opening and you refined it. And you made sure that the lemon stood out the most over the other citruses used. That's what you get here. But don't worry, it is done very well. Sometimes with lemon notes off the top, they can be very biting and kind of overly bright to the point that it almost singes your nose hairs. You don't get that issue here. As it dries down, you get lavender, you get geranium, again, very masculine, bit of a clean vibe to it, but with still having this great woodiness, this woody backbone, which shines more here than it does in the others. Cedar, sandalwood, amberwood, some of the notes in this one as it dries down. So that's a quick overview of the three Bleu de Chanel fragrances. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, which one would work for me? Now, of course, the simplest thing to do would be to go into a store that has all three, sample them, wear them on your skin, see how they work, and then go with which one or which ones you think would be best. I can tell you all three, in my opinion, are great releases. Some fragrances, you may second guess it. You may think, well, you know, going to this situation or going to this place, I'm gonna be around these people, I'm gonna be doing these things, and I don't know if I should wear this, I don't know how much I should wear. That doesn't happen with these. With these, you can just grab, spray, go, doesn't matter. So with all that said, I would say if you're looking for the freshest of the bunch, the cleanest of the bunch, the easiest to wear for everyday situations in the spring and summer, a great fragrance for the office or just casually, then go for the Eau de Toilette. Also, as I said before, the most youthful of the bunch is this one. If you want the version that's probably going to give you the most versatility overall, all season use, daytime or nighttime, to the office, casually, on a date, doesn't matter, can do it all, then I would go for the Eau de Parfum. If you want the one that is the classiest of the bunch, easily the most grown up, the most elegant of the bunch, and the one that I think is far and away the best for evening use. And when I say that, I mean just about any situation you're gonna find yourself in during the evening, go for the Parfum. Keeping in mind that all three of these are enormously versatile and that realistically you can wear them whenever you want. The Eau de Toilette is going to be a little more honed in on spring, summer, daytime use. The Eau de Parfum is really made to be used whenever. And the Parfum is going to be, of the three, the best for fall and winter and evening use. I can say that when I was younger and Bleu de Chanel first came out, I fell in love with the Eau de Toilette pretty much right away. So obviously I liked this one the most at first. It was also the only one. As I got older and then Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum came out, I slowly kind of gravitated away from the EDT. Still really like it a lot, but gravitated more toward the Eau de Parfum and then eventually the Parfum. And I think that all three have their strengths, not really many weaknesses. And I think you can own all three without it being too redundant, as long as you very much enjoy that Bleu de Chanel DNA. For most people, I would say if you're gonna have just one, the Eau de Parfum is your best bet. So there we go, guys. Bleu de Chanel, my buying guide for you. I feel like we should have had a release in 2022 from this line, but we didn't, because the original came out in 2010. 4 years later, in 2014, we got the Eau de Parfum. 4 years after that, in 2018, we got the Parfum. 4 years after that, I'm not counting the spray, the all-over spray. I'm not counting like all the different Bleu de Chanel things you can get, like shaving cream and soap and all this other stuff. So maybe this year, 2023, we get a new Bleu de Chanel, but as of when I'm filming, this is what we got. Thank you all for hanging with me. Let me know in the comments which Bleu de Chanel version you like the most. If you could have just one, which one would it be? Stay safe out there, guys. I will see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.